We're about to take it back.
Okay.
Yes, guys, and we are back for another episode on the Talkin Loud podcast where we discuss everything dank, smelly, sticky, icky, gooey, and all that good stuff. And today, I got a very, very special guest on today, man. It's actually someone that's been requested by you guys, so shout out to you guys. And today, we've got on someone that I'm sure a lot of you guys know. He's got his own podcast over there with another homie. He's doing a lot of great stuff. Let me just not say too more. Let me just bring him right on. Mr. Beast Coast Grower. What's going on, fam? How's it going, homie?
What is up, man? It is good to be on the show.
Hell yeah, dude, man. Like, so happy to have you here, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've been following you for some time. I tuned into quite a few of the Garden Talk, Green Table podcast episodes, man. I've been following you for quite some time, man. We've got a similar vibe, from the Caribbean and stuff, so that's definitely something we got in common, man. But, like, huge shout out to you, bro. Thank you for joining us on the show. Just tell me how's it going? How everything going on your side, bro?
Man, everything is good besides being really hot and really humid. It's that part of the season where it is just sticky outside and full of mosquitoes.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, man. I actually heard you guys were talking about that on your latest episode, man. You and Frosty were kicking it, and he was saying the same thing. He's got the AC running, he's got fans running, and it's still hot, dude. Like,
yeah.
What?
And it seems like everybody going through it this summer. It's just hot everywhere.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy. There's like a heat wave all over the world, dude. Like, I got homies right now who probably tuned into the live stream right now, and they're like in the UK, and they had a heat wave recently. I got my bro out in the UK, people out in Europe as well, man. So it's not just over here in the US, it's like everywhere, dude.
Yep. Once you bring it up, you start to notice that everybody dealing with the same thing.
Same thing, bro. It's crazy. Now, guys, drop it in the comments. Smash a like if you know Beast Coast Grower, man. He's doing a lot over here in the community. He's got some great stuff going on, a dope page. I'm going to put links to everything he's doing down in the comments below, so definitely check that out. He's growing some amazing plants, bringing that fire, and talking some real shit, man. Some real shit that you guys definitely need to tune into, bro. So before we get into all that, dude, one thing I always ask everyone, my brother, is about their name, right? So your name, man, Beast Coast Grower, dude. Like, tell me about it. How did that name actually come about? What made you pick that name, bro?
It was crazy because I had a different name. And when I first came in to the industry, I had a really good friend of mine, Low-Key Grow.
Yeah.
And that's who I was first introduced to. He kind of got me with my channel up and running, but our names were way too similar. Yeah. So whenever someone would mention me, they would think I was him. And sometimes when they would mention him, they would think it was me. Yeah. And one day they was like, yo, you're a Beast Coast Grower. And I'm like, there we go.
That.
Yeah, I like that. That got a ring to it. And after that, it just became Beast Coast Grower 420.
It stuck with you, man. Well, I like that. And you actually made a name for yourself with that one. And speaking of that, dude, I was looking through some of your pics, man, and I saw that like you posted one, you like put out like a notice, like, guys, stop mixing me up with this homie. Like, I don't know if you guys realize, but like we're completely different for more reasons than one. But like, don't get it twisted, man. Then you came out with the Beast Coast Grower, man. So
yeah, and that was another thing. My voice sounded similar to another grower who everyone thought I was, and I'm like, that's not me. that is not me. We sound alike for some reason to you guys, but it's not me.
Yeah, it's probably just the mic, how you hear it over the airwaves. But
being from the East Coast, a lot of the accents are the same.
True, man. So shout out to that, man. I thought it was actually like a play on being from the East Coast. So that's why I thought that maybe there was something in there, Beast Coast. He's a beast.
Nah, I think it was. I think it was. But people were already using that term. It's just when someone said it to me and they were like, yo, you're a Beast Coast Grower. And I'm like,
shit.
Like that.
Yeah. Well, that's actually the first time I heard it, dude, when I saw your page, man. So shout out, man.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah, big ups, bro. But I'm wondering, do you grow any other plants, any vegetables, herbs, or anything like that?
Everyone that'll grow in my area. I'm into agroforestry, building food forests for people. So anything that'll grow on the East Coast, I grow it. All the fruits, all of the vegetables every year. That's another thing people can see. I'm gonna start putting more videos up of that because people seem hella interested in all of the plants. So why not give it to them all?
Yeah, it's true, dude. And like some people actually, say like gardening is like a gateway to growing, but like it's sometimes the other way around for some people. Like I
Yeah.
had Rob on recently, and he didn't grow anything else. He started off with the medicinal plants. I think Chris did as well. So shout out to CLTV and Mr. Grow It. But for me, I started off growing other plants. And I guess you did the same thing, right?
Yep.
Nice,
Yep.
man.
I started out in the vegetable garden. Started out, and then it just evolved afterwards.
Oh fuck, man, that's dope, bro. So like, what sort of plants were you growing?
Uh, every vegetable, tomatoes,
Everything, man.
corn, cabbage, kale, carrot,
Oh
everything,
shit, man.
and especially fruit trees. That was the main thing I wanted. I wanted something that I can plant and it'll
Yeah.
just give me food forever. So even the vegetables that work the same way, that was my main thought in the beginning versus having to plant every season, every year. I want some things that are going to stay put.
Yeah, smart, man. So did you find that when you started off like gardening and growing all those vegetables, all those other plants basically, that it gave you a better understanding for when you moved on to like the medicinal stuff? You had a better understanding of what's going on and how to do it, or not really?
It was actually more confusing because they never really made the connection for
Ooh,
you.
wow,
So like when
interesting.
so like coming in, I'm coming into people who are cocoa, watering systems, salt-based nutrients, or even liquid-based nutrients. That's what I was coming into versus making the best ground you can have for vegetable plots. So no one really put the two together when I first came into growing more medicinal plants. It was actually a complete shift, and it wasn't until years into doing that when I realized, wait a minute, why fight nature? If it works
Yeah.
outside, it'll work inside. And that's where I made the connection. But it took years afterwards. They make
Wow.
it so confusing with the terms sometimes and the things that they claim other plants
Ooh,
need. And truth be told, no, they don't.
yeah.
They work the same.
Wow, good point, dude. That's a good point because like a lot of people actually think that growing, gardening, it's so difficult, but when you really break it down, strip away some of the confusing layers, it's all pretty much very similar, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. And that's one
And I
thing.
didn't know that at first. So I thought I had to go into this with a whole new mind
Yeah,
compared to the way that I've been used to gardening, and found out no, that's not true. I was working
completely
backwards
different.
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I see you've been gardening for quite some time now. Like since 2017, I think that's when like you
Mhm.
probably first started off your IG. But I'm sure you like doing gardening stuff before that, man. But like, I'm sure you learned so much. If you had one thing that you would say you learned from just gardening in general, like veggies, house plants, all that stuff that you would say helped you when you actually transferred it to the medicinal plants, what would that one thing be?
Mm.
Just one random, like maybe overwatering and underwatering, nutrients, light,
Mm. Uh,
feeding.
the one thing that I probably should have kept in mind, and the one thing I would give to somebody else is, these plants don't take as much nutrients as you might think it does.
VIP.
Like that was a big letdown for me that they tell you to give it so much and then come to
Yeah,
find out it really does not need that much. Like
yeah,
whatever they tell you on the bottle, you may be able to go like a hair under and still always be fine. Like
yeah,
so you don't even know how far down you could go because you start getting scared because it's playing tricks on your mind. They told
yeah,
me 10 milliliters per gallon. I'm already using 8 and the plants still look great. Could I go even lower? But no one wants to even risk it. But I think
literally.
that's the main thing right there is that these plants don't need as much
Fuck.
nutrients as you think that they do.
Yeah, I like that, man. I'm glad I pulled that one out of you because it's like a
Yeah.
random question. I sort of pulled you on the spot there, dude. But like you came out with like a golden nugget of advice, dude. And everyone listening, smash a like for that because that's a fantastic point, bro. Less is more a lot of the time. But we'll probably get into that a little bit more. But before we do, I just want to touch on something really near and dear to you guys' heart, man. It's actually the Green Table podcast. Let's see if we can bring that up right now. I've actually just added it up here. This is you guys' most recent episode 67. Does equal roots equal bigger fruits, man? And you guys talk about a lot of different stuff on the podcast, a wide range of topics. We're already at episode 67, as you guys can see. So you've been hammering this out for a while. And as I think I noticed, you guys were actually doing lives before you actually formulated and said, fuck it, let's get serious and actually make this the podcast. You guys were like 20 episodes in, man.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about like the Green Table podcast. Tell us a little bit about it and just tell us about it, man.
The green tea, yeah, kind of lucked up on the green table. I was going live with a friend, and one day Frosty jumps in, and we
Shoot.
like, whoa, like this is one of our favorite growers. Like we've been watching him forever. Like he was larger scale than most of the growers that we were used to. So seeing Frosty jump in, we was like, oh, and it just eventually morphed itself into a podcast after, because people wanted another episode and then another episode, and it turned into a every week podcast afterwards. I was just going live basically to dispel myths. That was my goal. Create a podcast where I can dispel all of the rumors and get all of the fog out of people's faces so they can make growing fun and easy again. And that winded up turning into a podcast due to the people. Shout out to them.
Hell yeah, dude. And that's a great thing about the community. Got a lot of people in the community showing love. They're always tuning into you guys' live streams, you guys' podcast episodes. Like the same people I see in you guys' episodes commenting on your stuff, they're on my stuff as well. So the community is really what makes everything happen, bring everything together, man.
They connect everybody, because I wouldn't have known about a lot of the other podcasters had I not gone to the comment section and they're like, hey, check this guy out, check this guy out. And I'm like, oh, everybody out here podcasting. I'm loving
it. Hell yeah, dude. I actually went live last week and I was like, who do you guys want to see on the Talkin Loud podcast? And homies in the comments went fucking crazy, bro. And like literally, I got a list here, and I literally made a list, and we got Beast Coast Grower on here. We got Frosty. We had literally Beast plus Frosty, and we got like 3 ticks next to it because it's like so highly requested. So we got to make it happen, man. So, you know,
thank you.
And when they actually said that, I was like, guys, don't worry. I actually hit up Beast Coast before. We're actually trying to make it happen. We just got to sort out a date and time. Don't worry. He'll be on here, man. So thanks for jumping on, bro. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Now, we were talking about the Green Table podcast, Dude Lit podcast. I did notice you guys have a dope intro in there. Like, it's like a little bit of a rap intro. Is that you guys actually rapping on there?
Yes. Yeah. We make our own intros, and I do it even better because I switch up the intros weekly, and I don't even let Frosty know what I'm doing on the intros. Like, even he has to see it for the first time when I'm putting them out. So people be looking forward to them intros every single show because they know I'm getting ready to do something different. It's either going to be a new skit in there or new music or something.
Fuck, dude. That's dope as fuck, bro. Because honestly, like, I was listening to it and I was like, wait, that sounds like Beast. Wait, is that Beast? Like, what is going on here, bro? And then I could put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, okay, I'm seeing you in the studio. You're looking like the studio looks like real cool and shit. Like, he probably does some recording. Let me ask him, dude. Let me ask him.
It seems like for some reason, plants and music just go hand in hand. Everyone I know who's like really interested in any plants, they also really love music or really love some kind of instrument or something. They just go hand in hand.
Yeah, it is true, dude. Like a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what type of music. Like a lot of people are really into like their genre or whatever, but like it's just the music. It brings people together, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. And that's what it's all about. Like even the community we're just talking about is about bringing people together. The music brings people together. You smoke a joint, you get lit, and you just feel good, you know?
Yeah, learn some new music. You get to hear some new genres from your friends. So like I learned a lot about rock music through gardening. Wow. Being in other people's gardens, and while they're working, they're playing different music than I would be playing. And it's like, I kind of like this. Like, this is all right.
Yeah, I got you. And I feel you on that, dude. Because, like, me personally, I love rap, dude. Like, rap, old school rap, new school rap. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. I like that shit. But, like, I started to get like a little bit of a liking for like country and that sort of stuff, and like really just slow stuff that makes you feel calm and nice and positive, dude. Like not every day it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot and kill a nigga and fuck this shit. Like, you know what I mean, bro?
There's only so much of that you can take.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay, I need enough of that positive vibes. Like, let's bring in some positive vibes, please.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's one thing I gotta say on your page. You push a lot, man. Like you guys, if you aren't checking out Beast Coast Grower, definitely check him out, man. He's doing funny videos on IG, man. Some of them had me laughing so much, dude. He's got some literally preaching the truth about like huge facts and literally just preaching, man. Like, but if you guys are doubting yourself, like he will literally give you that self-confidence, man. So Beast Coast, I saw one video in particular, man, that tickled my fancy. I love it, and I really it motivated a lot of people, I'm sure, man. It's the one that you spoke about, not doubting yourself, like because a lot of people out here have edited IG pictures that they Photoshop, pictures that they throw up and change the color, the saturation, the hues, and it looks like some crazy dank bud. And all of a sudden you're left there like scrolling through IG and you're like, oh man, my plants suck, dude. Like, why can't I grow like that? Like, and you think you're not good enough, man. So just tell us a little bit about that, dude.
Yeah, and I heavily disagree with that, because you're at the stage that you need to be at right now. You eventually you'll get better, and you may never get to the stage that you're looking at, because that's not actually a stage. that's actually a stage. Like that someone staged this picture to look like that. They're not at a stage where they're that much better than you. No, because if you ever get to their packaging, if you ever get to anything, those buds never look like that. So you guys are doing exactly what you need to be doing. As long as you're getting better every round, as long as you're taking your data in, as long as you're accepting new information, as long as you're trying to harness that skill, you're going to eventually make it to a point where your quality is going to be what somebody else is shooting for. So just wait your turn. As this is a game of patience right here. You got to have a lot of patience to be able to grow plants. These plants are not going to rush for you. If things happen to them, they're not going to recover as fast as you want them to. These things just happen. Accept it, move on, and be the best that you can be.
Most definitely, dude. I love that, man. And it's so positive. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. You bring that positivity, you bring that good vibes, and maybe it's just that Caribbean in us, man. We love that positivity and good vibes. You're always irie and, doing things good. And but one thing I gotta ask you, man. I noticed also you were on Mr. Growit's podcast, man. So shout out to you, dropping knowledge over there as well, man. So all you guys, if you know Mr. Growit, huge podcast, drop it down below in the comments. But tell us a little bit about that, bro. How was it when you jumped on there with him? How was it chatting with him, and what was it like, bro?
It was a shock because even when he first asked me, I'm like, me? You want me on the show? And then I seen the reaction from the other people, and it was just dope. And I like how much he went into detail. Like he was asking me questions that I would not have explained anything about. I'd have skipped clean over it and just moved on to another subject. But he like, no, we're gonna stay right here. Let me ask you this now about trellising. And it actually helped a lot of people get their trellis game up. Which increases yields. They learned a lot. They were able to support their plants better. They learned about a new topping technique. So all of that came from this podcast. That kind of skyrocketed me right there.
Dope, man. Like, guys, definitely check out that episode. Like, Beast Coast is literally dropping knowledge all over the freaking place, bro. But honestly, coming to think of that, bro, because I was tuned into a From the Stash podcast, right? And Pigeons was on there. Shout out to Pigeons 420. I'm trying to get him on this podcast. Guys, go and spam Pigeons 420. Drop him in his comments. Tell him come on to this podcast. We need to see him on here. We had Rob. We had CLTV. We had everyone else. We need to have him on, man. But anyway, he was dropping some knowledge as he always does. Shout out to Pigeons, bro. And he was saying that if you guys want to learn more about scrogging, the person to check out is Beast Coast Grower, dude. And he literally dropped it there. He was like, Beast Coast Grower. Go and check him out. Check out his videos. He's a real cool dude. If you need to ask him anything, you can hit him up, and most times he will answer you, and he will, try to give you some help, man. And I was actually going to save the scrogging for a bit later on, but let's bring it out right now, bro. Like tell us a little bit about the scrogging technique. For those who don't know what it is, just break it down like in a simple way for someone to understand.
So the easiest way to put it is to lay a net over your canopy and fill out all of the squares. That's nice. Like if I had to break it down into the most simple term, put a net over your canopy and make sure that you fill out all of the squares. If you can do that, you will hit the maximum yield that you're supposed to hit, as long as all the other conditions are correct. As long as you're not overwatering, as long as you're not your room isn't too hot or too cold, you will get the best benefits from scrogging. And it's the way that I learned. Like as I was learning, everybody who I was watching was scrogging.
Yeah,
like Med Grower, some of the other people that we were watching to begin, all of them were scrogging. So I thought this is a method that I have to perfect. Because this is it right here. Like if I can't do this, I know I'm missing canopy. I know I didn't do as good as I could have done. So scrogging was one of the most beneficial lessons that I learned.
Yeah, I actually messed with it myself, dude. I did the whole thing. I got the PVC pipes. I built my own frame, drilled the screws in, and literally just got some wire and this thing it up, and it really increased my yields, man. It increased it a fucking lot, bro.
A lot. Yeah, it's not a small difference. It's a big difference.
It's a big ass difference, bro.
Because normally those plants would stand straight up.
Yeah, literally, they'll just stand straight up, almost like a Christmas tree, But now we can scrog it out. And so, what sort of like scrog setup do you use, man? Do you use like wood? Do you use PVC as well?
Well, where the canopy is like up against the wall.
Okay.
So mainly they hook to the wall, and then there's one stud there. There's one 2x4 that I use to be able to connect it on the side that doesn't have the wall to it. So it's literally just four corners of the wall.
I got you. Because I built some big ones myself. I had them freestanding. I built some hanging ones. Like, it's really nice how you can like manipulate the hell out of them, bro.
What I had to do is get the big roll.
Ooh, yeah.
The big roll of truck. If you give me a second, I could grab it. It's right
Yeah,
here.
sure thing, dude. Grab it. Let's see what Beast has got going on here, guys. I can't wait to see this. I know he was looking away at something because he wanted to show us something, but I wasn't sure what. But there's definitely something we're gonna see, man. And if you guys tune into the other episode with Northern Scrogger, that episode breaks down everything when it comes to scrogging, bro. Like you definitely don't want to miss some of that shit because honestly, scrogging increases your yields 3-4 times over. You can use it with multiple setups, multiple size setups, and look at this, man. He's back already, man. Like, let's see what he's got here. Let's see what he, come on, B, show us what's going on here. Ooh, he's got the whole roll.
Yeah, so it comes on the big spool, and this just makes it easy because you can just connect it on one corner, roll it out,
wow,
and then hook it to the other ones. Dude. Yeah, and eventually it seems like a lot, but over time you go through this much trellis, and for the price of this one, it just makes it more worth it if you know you're going to trellis every round.
Nice, man. I like that. That's
and I also have to trellis the tomatoes and some of the other stuff, so it's good to just have that much around because you're going to need it for a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, it's so true, man. Like, fuck, dude. And like, I really did notice, like, there was a certain point throughout your IG where I just stopped seeing plants growing normally, and it's only Scrog setups after that, dude.
Someone made a joke on me. They was like, "Are you showing the same grow over and over and over again?" And I'm like, "No, I promise. This is round after round after round. It's just I do the same exact method." So it almost looks like I'm showing the same exact round all over again.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like,
that's
what we doing that for? Oh, fuck, man. I'm loving this, man. But I think this is the perfect way to just segue into the Know Your Bud segment, man. And this is like a little segment where I just tell everyone that comes onto the show, man, is my bud. And I just want to know what you do with your buds. And it's a way to get the viewers to find out more about you. So there's no right or wrong answer to it. Guys, smash the like if you're enjoying this so far. And if you want to find out what he's going to be doing with his buds and stuff. But let me just get this started, right? Let's head straight into the Know Your Bud segment. So when it comes to germination, glass of water method, paper towel method, or straight into the soil? What's your preference and why?
Glass of water, drop them in there, let them float.
Okay, I got you. I noticed that you actually do like put some solo cups with like a little bag over top and like a rubber band and stuff. Tell us a little bit about that, dude.
That's what I'll do after they go into the ground. So I'll leave them in the water until the tails come out. Then I'll plant them into there and put a plastic bag over them for like a day or so. And then once they all pop out of the ground, just boom. So it's basically like putting a humidity dome over them. Yeah, but with the solo cups and everything, I don't want to risk knocking none of those cups over, losing some of the seedlings. So it's much easier to just take plastic bags and put them over them for a day. And they pop right out, take it off, and they're good to go.
Good point, man. Like, good point. I knocked over so many, and like you just see them. Like,
me too.
Like, oh, dude. Oh man.
And you'll never find that seed in that cup afterwards.
Literally, dude.
It sinks to no man's land. It's just gone.
You gotta like probably water the whole thing, have super patience and wait, and maybe you'll see something pop up.
Nope. You know what happens? You go dump that soil out afterwards, and then you go in your yard later on in the summertime, and you'll see it growing out of the little pile you left back there. Yeah.
Oh man, I love that, dude. Now the next question: feminized or regs? What's your preference and why?
Regs, because I get a bigger variety and I'm looking for the pheno of phenos. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to go with regs because most fems are pretty, they're pretty uniformed. Yeah. Like it's hard to find different styled keepers. Yeah. You have to pop more seeds of fems in order to get that. When if it was regs, your chances of finding something special is a little higher, and just from experience. Yeah, super interesting, man. That's a great point. I actually wanted to touch on pheno hunting, man, because like you do a lot of pheno hunting, man. I think one of your first fucking pictures on your IG was a pheno hunt run, bro. Yes,
like it was like a fucking. I was like, dude, what is this guy doing? Like, you pheno hunting from the get go. But like, what I did want to ask, man, is like, what sort of traits do you look for when you're pheno hunting? Like, what stands out to you as something as desirable?
Big, strong plants. Don't be squat. Don't be bushy, because you're not going to make it. I need tall, strong plants that are going to make it through a level of trellis netting or two. So if you can't keep up with the rest of the team, I can't grow you because you're going to be a headache. So I'm looking for the big, tall, strong plants.
Okay, interesting, man. That makes a lot of sense. So because you're like growing in like the full Scrog setup, you literally try to look for the plants and the strains that are suitable for that setup. Because certain like super short indicas and stuff probably wouldn't be great for you. But some of the like slightly taller, more robust strains that you can really train, get in there, bend down and stuff, like those ones would be like great. So makes a lot of sense, bro.
Yep.
Wow.
When the strains are a little shorter and bushier, they're easier to manage. So you could get away with maybe some bamboo stakes or just super cropping them, building the strength in the stems. People like Green Goblin that have little to no support on their plants, and they're just going. So there's situations you could do that. I wouldn't care if the plant was a little shorter, but when they're in netting and they're next to other plants that are going to be tall and robust, you got to be able to survive. Because if not, I'll find you done off in the back corner during harvest.
Yeah, that's true. They'll just get like overshadowed, like they wouldn't harvest right. Nothing will be proper, man. So makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, next question: hydro or soil? What's your preference?
Soil.
Soil. Okay. A lot of people stick in there and they prefer like, okay, interesting. Tell us a little bit about that, man. You're an organic grower?
Yeah, living soil. 100%.
Okay, living soil. 100%.
Because if you're gonna go organic, you may as well go live in soil. I don't really see a point in adding nutrients that are going to be organic or the main issue is getting rid of the soil every run.
Yeah,
that's just a waste of time. Just go ahead and get you some beds and leave that soil put from the moment you put it in there and let it get better over time. So that's why I prefer living soil, because you could just take the plants out, pop them in, water.
Smart.
Water.
Smart. Makes a lot of sense, bro. There's always a method behind people's choices and the madness. So,
but you got to have worms to be able to do that. You got to have a lot of life going on in the soil that will be able to decay things that you're dropping on top of the soil and turn it into food. If you don't have anything that's keeping that cycle going, you will have to feed the beds.
Oh, okay. I got you. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And I guess that's where like the synganic might come in. You might have to throw in some synthetics in there.
Maybe, or maybe even dry amendments like some Gaia Green, something like that.
Okay. I got you. Nice, man. Dope. Next question: photo periods or autoflowers? What's your preference?
Photos.
Ooh, photos straight up. Why?
Because if I love a pheno that I get from a pack of autos, I can never grow it again.
True.
And that's my man. I'm selfish. If I like it, I want to keep it forever, and I can't keep that forever. Like I would have to pop more seeds and pray that I get something close to that pheno again. Like, so until autos are a little bit more homogenous, maybe I'm gonna go with photos.
I like that, man. Smart. Like you just don't want to put yourself through that headache, that trauma of being able to be like, man, I can never get that back, but I
can never get it again.
You just don't want to put yourself through that headache. The
selfish side of me won't let me do it.
Yeah, I got you, man. But that makes a lot of sense, dude. Like with what you're doing a lot of pheno hunting. Like you just can't really pheno hunt autos like that unless you like maybe got some like complex breeding operation going on where you're doing it for a purpose, but you can't keep them running, man.
No, have you ever tried to? And they will flower at any point that they want to. That's another thing I don't like. I can't control the size of them before they flip. Like they're gonna flip when they decide that they want to flip.
They're ready,
and that may not be big enough for my liking, and now I got an empty canopy.
Yeah, and it's true. And have you ever like scrogged an auto just out of curiosity?
I've never ran them.
Oh, really? Oh man, that's pretty interesting.
Ran the auto.
Dope, man. He's like, fuck this shit.
I can't do it. It's gonna hurt my heart too much.
Yeah, no, I got you. But that's the beauty of Know Your Buds, man. I really get to know what everyone does with their buds, because everyone likes different things, man, and no one like has the same preference. So let's move on to the next one: synthetic or organic? What's your preference? Ooh, we'll have a moment of silence, guys.
Yeah. Personal or production?
Both. Let's put it that way.
And production, I'm going with 1 gallon pots of cocoa, 12 per 4x4, Scrog net, LEDs.
Performance.
That's going to be the setup. Yeah. Jack's 321. That's going to be that. Yeah. But if I'm doing something for just me and I want the best flavor, I want the best terps, I want the best everything out of whatever plants I'm deciding to grow, I'm going organics all day.
Love that, dude. I love that. A lot of people actually like say that as well, man. Like they get a lot better taste and flavor from the organics.
Everything. Yeah. But if you're in a production setting and maybe you don't, I don't know. I would probably still find a way to do the organics even in production. But I get that that's not going to be logical for most people who don't know it to the level that I do.
Yeah.
So they're going to go they're gonna go hydro.
And wide scale, I think it's a little bit more difficult as well. Like just doing organics on like such a wide scale, like to get the inputs and stuff. Like some people I've had on, they said that that's been a bit of the problem. Things could get messy really quickly, and that's why they just stick to like the hydro, even straight perlite. You know, like just with synthetics.
You can't
Clean
correct
nukes.
the problem fast in soil. If you run into some problems in soil, it's going to be some weeks before you can correct that problem.
Yeah,
and cocoa, you could
point.
correct the problem overnight.
Good point. So you grow in cocoa as well? You've had experience growing in cocoa?
Yep.
Oh, nice, man. I haven't grown cocos yet.
Most of my experience is growing in cocoa. It's just sun grown. I'm going to do live in soil. And then I thought for a second that I'm not doing this the right way. Like, why am I not doing this indoor as well?
Yeah, makes sense. Like, why? What's the reasoning behind it? Like, I can do it.
I can do it. Yeah, I can pull. Yeah. I'm one of the very few that can pull this off on and live in soil. Why ain't I?
Fuck yeah, that's
and
dope,
I can show other people that they could do this as well.
Yeah. So if there's one thing that you got to say that you got to be mindful of when you're doing it, what would you say that is?
And organics?
Yeah.
Building the soil.
Building it, yeah.
That original batch of soil that you put in there to start off with is going to be crucial later on.
So smart, dude.
It's going to be crucial for all the people that think you're just going to start with peat and maybe go from there. No, it's best to start with ProMix. ProMix knew the ratios. ProMix know what they're doing when it comes to making soil.
Shout out to ProMix.
Start out with a ProMix base.
That's all I use, bro.
and maybe some Happy Frog or some Ocean Forest on the very bottom layers. But you want to start with something like that. And then as time goes on, you allow the soil to get better by what you're adding to it. But a good base is going to be everything in living soil. Because if you mess that up and it's too hot or it's not enough, you're done from there. You're just playing catch up.
Yeah, it's true. So do you like literally just layer it almost like a lasagna? You start off with like different layers, or do you like mix it all up and stuff? Like,
nope. At the very bottom is where the Ocean Forest would go, and I'm still even cutting that with some of the ProMix. So I'll put a couple bags of Ocean Forest and some of the ProMix, and I'll mix all of that up on the bottom. Yeah. Then the next layer will be ProMix and maybe Happy Frog.
Yeah.
And then the top layer may be ProMix and just worm castings. So when I'm putting smaller plants in and they're touching those roots at the top layer, they got their worm castings in, they got everything that they need. By the time they make it to the middle, now they could be ready for that Happy Frog. Gives them another boost in nutrients. And by the time you get to the bottom, you can handle that Ocean Forest. Because Ocean Forest tends to be a little hot sometimes.
Yeah. Wow, dude, man, I'm so glad I asked that question. I wasn't actually going to segue into that, but bro, I usually mix my stuff up, but like now that you say it like that, makes so much sense, bro. Because like the Ocean Forest does run hot. A lot of people complain about that, especially if you're starting seedlings and stuff. Yeah, dude, like Jesus. So like that makes so much sense, dude. Like I never ever thought of it.
If
you're
gonna use Ocean Forest, just leave it towards the bottom, and in the middle, let it go through that Happy Frog.
Fuck, bro, you are so fucking smart, dude. Like no wonder you say you can do this shit. Like you can pull it off.
Because that's how I built the outdoor beds for the vegetables and everything else. It was that same method, and I'm like, wait a minute, this would work no matter what.
Shit,
why am I playing with this? And then that's when the no-till came.
Yeah. Oh man, that's beautiful, man. I just learned something. Shout out, man. Thank you so much for that, brother. Appreciate that. All right, let's move on to the next one, bro. Wet trim or dry trim? What's your preference?
Dry trim only.
That was a quick one. He's like, no, motherfucker, dry trim only.
Dry trim only, because you don't want those chlorophyll juices exploding all over your flour. Yeah, and then later on you can't get that smell out. You're not going to get that back. And it never goes away. Like some people think that it never goes away. You got celery from that point on.
Yeah, you got like some garden stuff, bro.
Yeah, you got celery from that point on, so it's worth it to just hang it up. And worst I would do is maybe remove some of the bigger fan leaves if you're worried about humidity. Remove some of the bigger fan leaves, but besides that, leave the rest of those. They're there to protect.
Hell yeah, so true, dude. I don't like cutting that off. Like I tried it both ways, so I know like that chlorophyll smell, dude. Horrible, bro. Horrible.
And to think you put in all of that work, you did everything perfect, nailed it. All just to mess it up at the last minute because you wanted to wet trim it. Like, not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it at all. Like, I actually see some people like wet trim on their plant and stuff. Like, so the plant is still in soil, like in the pot and everything, and they trim off all the fan leaves, all the sugar leaves and everything to the point where it's only buds on.
Oh, like, no. Yeah. Oh, no. If I seen someone doing that, like it would, I'd probably keel over. I'd be like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, what is happening, bro?
Ruining a perfectly good plant. Like, what are you doing?
Do you not like yourself, your hard work, your time, money, and effort? Like, what's going on, bro?
You willing to throw all of that away for this last moment? No, let it dry, and then go for it. And it's so much easier when it's dry. Because wet trimming also, do you know how many pair of scissors you need just sitting around in alcohol 24/7 to keep on switching out? Like, no, not worth it.
It's not at all. But that's a great point that you made, man, because it also slows down like the dry a lot. So I like to call them like little bud blankets. I actually did a seed to harvest recently on that and called them like bud blankets. They close up around the bud like that, and they slow down the dry. They protect your flower, and when you're coming to trimming afterwards, it's dry already. It comes off like just like that.
They invented that brush for a reason. That little mini brush that you can use to trim with. That's because that's the level of dry that the outer leaves need to be when it's time to trim, or else it wouldn't work. Yes. If it's still too wet, still too sticky, you're going to wind up with some issues. That's when curing is going to have to happen. That's when other things got to take place.
Yeah, it's so true, man. So like, tell me a little bit about your dry and cure process. Like, how long do you aim for like a dry and cure? Because like, I know everyone's environments are different.
Drying altogether, it probably takes around 14, 13 days. Okay. But I have to start trimming around day 7. Ooh, that because I trim alone. Yeah. So if I start when some of them are pretty much dry, it'll be perfect because by the time I get to the very last one, it won't be too dry. Now, if I start when everything in the room is absolutely perfect, I can't get through it fast enough to not have some of them dry way too much. So it's easier to just start a little earlier. And by the time I get to the last one, everything is perfect versus wait till everything is perfect. And then I got dust at the end of the batch. Yeah. I didn't want to deal with that. Yeah. So trial and error kind of got me that method right there of drying it for about 7 days and then having to start because I'm doing it alone. So I have to start at least getting into it. So that way, by the time I get to the last one, it's not overly dry.
Yeah. Smart.
Problems you might only have to deal with if you're growing a little bit larger scale.
Yeah, it's true. Coming to think of it, because like you got a lot to deal with. And like, how long would you wait for like until you can start to enjoy your flower? Like, how long would you wait for it to cure?
I smoke and trim.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so I dry it to the point where it's ready.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. I actually tried that myself. I tried like just drying some stuff. I actually just left it out on my table, some like smaller nugs, and then I just popped them into a spliff and smoked it, dude.
They were fine.
Yeah, literally. Now that leads us nicely to our next question: bong or joint? What's your preference?
Joint.
I got you on that one.
I can't handle the bong.
Yeah, I got you.
I can't handle it. I know, Dad. Like some people are great with them. Man, it'll sit me down for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it can do that, but I love a good J, so I don't got a preference. For me, there's a time and place for everything. Like my wife likes to smoke joints. We like to pass back and forth, but she doesn't like the bongs, glass, and rigs and all that stuff. She's not on that, bro. You know?
Me neither.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm still old school with it.
Yeah, I tell. I like that, bro. And now the next one: edibles or vapes? What's your preference?
Shit.
This one. I put him in a sticky situation here, guys.
I'm gonna have to say vapes.
Ooh, okay.
Now I don't really do either. Yeah. But I know edibles is out the question. My wife has an edible company. I decided to try story time. I decided to try a few of her brownies one time. So I eat the first one and I'm all right. I'm good to go. These ain't doing nothing. So I take a second one. I think I'm good to go. Eat about another half of one because still nothing's hitting me. I'm like, well, I don't know what everybody be bragging about. Winded up in Walmart for about 2 hours with absolutely nothing in my cart, just walking in circles. And that was the last time that I had edibles. It was over after that. It must have hit me when I was in the store, and then the next thing I know, I was in there for a few hours and had nothing in my cart.
Mans went in there to catch something, get some munchies, like forgot what I came here for, circle the aisles for 2 hours.
Forgot what I came here for.
Why am I here again?
And it was a hot day, so you know they got the super air conditioner at Walmart, so it's feeling good, and it hit you as soon as the AC hit you. I'm like, oh man,
this is good. I wonder, like, if I had like one of those little cams on you, dude, like a body cam, a GoPro cam, just to see what you're doing. Probably like pushing the trolley through the aisles, like looking at food, putting it back, looking around,
looking at
like,
everything.
Yeah, dude, picking up clothes, looking at the clothes, you know, like picking up like stuff for the kitchen. Man, it's just going crazy.
Didn't buy anything, didn't decide on anything. Cart completely empty. I just laughed at myself and walked out.
I'm too lit in Walmart right now.
yeah, just laughed at myself and walked right out. Probably looked like I stole something. Yeah.
That was hilarious, dude. I love it, man. That was great. That was great, man. That was the last question on Know Your Buds, man. It really helped everyone get to know you and know what you do with your buds. And thank you, man. It was a good fucking segment, man. A great laugh.
This is something else I do with it.
Ooh, nice. I like that. Tell us a little bit about that, bro. What's that going on there?
I use the leaves to make tea.
Ooh, yeah.
But the effects reverse. So normally you would think that you would drink it as a tea and it would simmer you down. No, it does the exact opposite. You drink it as a tea and it uplifts you. So it's something great to have in the morning. So first thing in the morning you want to, and you know your leaves are clean, feel free to boil a couple of those up after you dry them out, and it'll work just like regular tea leaves. And feel free to throw one bag of tea that you like in there for some extra flavoring or whatever, some black tea, green tea, whatever. And the effects are reversed. So instead of sitting you down, it give you a super boost of energy. Yeah. Super boost of energy. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, man. I've actually never heard anyone say that except for back when I was out in the Caribbean, man. Like,
I know. And I was gonna say in the Caribbean, I know they
boil the leaves. Like, they literally see them just taking the leaves off the tree, boiling it with some water, with some hot water and stuff, maybe putting a little bit of sugar in there. And like you said, with that tea bag, great idea, dude. I never thought of that. I love ginger tea. Maybe I could try that with my ginger tea. Have some
so
ginger
feel free to just throw a couple of leaves in there, and boom, you're good to go.
Ooh, sweet, man. Like, oh, interesting. This guy's just pulling out some fucking dope ass shit today, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I came to give you the good stuff.
I like that, man. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Guys, smash the like for Beast Coast. He's out here sipping on that tea. We're doing some good stuff and dropping some knowledge for you guys, man. But coming to ask you, man, you mentioned a little bit before about that outdoor no-till bed, man. And I think I did notice that you had it running for like 2 years now, bro. Like 2 years, maybe it's more now. No-till, veggies, outdoor. Like, tell us a little bit about it, man.
Yeah, once I realized that you don't have to keep going back into this ground, you let the layers build themselves, and the roots from those layers will do the bottom work for you. You don't have to reach down into the bottom and attempt to repair it. You plant something that does the reparations for you, like the daikon radishes, things with long tap roots that'll break up that soil underneath. So year after year after year, it just got better and better and better. So now I'm on year 3. And you could just go back there and throw any seeds you want to on any part of the ground. It'll germinate in no time and start growing.
Wow, bro.
And the soil is so soft. I got a video where I reached into the soil almost up to like right here.
Loamy, bro. That's what you call that soft loamy soil.
Yeah, so you could just reach right into it. So the roots love that. And it starts to get hard and compacted underneath it. But year after year, as those trees grow, as the bushes grow, the blackberries, the raspberries, they'll tear that ground up for me.
Fuck, bro. That's beautiful. That's amazing, dude. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, one of the biggest reasons why like hydro they grow so quickly is because they're just suspended in that nutrient solution. You know, there's no resistance for the roots. They just float, live life, and get nutrients, dude. And like the soil, sometimes I've grown in like super dense, like native soil out from your backyard, and like the roots just struggle to get through some of that soil sometimes, man. You could be feeding them nutrients, you could be doing everything right, but they just struggle to get through it. So just having that loamy soil out there is probably so great, bro.
And it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I had to till in the beginning to break that soil up in order to get it like that now. And it took a lot of compost to be able to get it like that too. But then once the trees started coming in, year after year, you just seen the soil better and better and better, because I had like solid compacted clay soil. So I had to break that up, add compost to it, and then that was pretty much it. I didn't have to amend. I didn't have to do anything, because clay normally holds a lot of nutrient. It just doesn't hold water well. It just lets the water run right off. Or sometimes it holds too much water. So it's on either extreme. Yeah, it's on either extreme. So I had to break that soil up. But after doing that just one time, it got better and better and better each year.
Wow, man. Shout out, man, because I did see that. It's like a beautiful, big outdoor raised bed, man. Like, and I love it, man. I love that sort of stuff.
There's three of them.
Three, man.
Yeah,
I think I only saw
I
one,
only
bro.
showed the video of the one in that one. If you go look at a new one I just put up not long ago, it shows like it shows the whole thing.
Okay, I got you. Nice, man. That's fucking dope, man. A lot of people are like getting into the organics because, like you said, it brings out like some of that flavor. People are searching for that flavor, that taste in their stuff. So, big ups, bro. Big ups. Like, thanks for dropping a little bit of info on that. But speaking of info, man, I did see you drop some fucking crazy ass info, man. About wait, where are you at, man? Like, you don't have to tell me exactly what state, but like, actually, yeah, if you don't mind,
New
if I'm
York.
not incriminating, New York. Okay, well, it's legal out there. You can go. But like New York, what's the pH like on your taps out there, bro?
Right around 6.4.
Man, you guys are living fucking life, dude. Anyway, I saw that you got it's 9 where I'm at. That's why I asked. It's 9 in Colorado. It fucking
Wow.
sucks, bro. Yeah. Anyway, I saw that you did like a RO water filter change, bro. Like, and it had some real dirty looking stuff coming out of that, bro. It's almost black, dude. Like crazy. Like I don't know. Like, tell us a little bit about that, man.
I wasn't sure what that was myself. Like I'm not sure if that was just a bad time during the year where they were going through some cleaning processes or
Yeah.
something, but I'm not sure what that was. I'm just glad that the filter caught it, and I've never had that problem again since. So I take
Okay.
it that may have just
Okay.
been an
A one
issue with
off.
the water supply because we actually have pretty decent water.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was like a warning for people to be like, you always got to do this. And you were changing your filters like
It may
every
be good
single
to
day.
just have a regular like 2-stage filter, but
Yeah.
I can't justify RO water where it takes 5 gallons to make one.
Yeah.
Like it's not that serious that you have to go through that unless you have really high ppm tap water.
True. True. I got you, man. Back where I was at in Trinidad, the water was so bad out the tap, man. I had like one of those external filters. I used to have to change it like every 2 weeks, bro. It just got
Wow.
like super dark brown, man. Like, and I think I got like sick. I used to drink tap water out there too, and like I literally got like H. pylori bacteria in my gut. Was in the hospital like all the time. It was crazy, bro. So
Mm.
don't drink your tap water, guys, unless you know what's in there.
Unless you know what's in there. Yeah, make sure you look into if you have drinkable tap water or not.
Yeah, literally, dude. Oh fuck, man. But speaking of that, man, you always get lit. I like to see you getting lit on the grams, man. You had some frosty J's that you rolled up in like some keef or kiff or however you want to call it, man. Like, tell us a
Death
little bit
stick.
about those, man. Yeah, dude. Like, you had so much. I think you got off some like Square One genetics. Like,
Yeah.
bro, man, how did you get all of that dust, bro?
Brisker OG. That's all I can say. She's just one of those strains
Brisker
that
fucking OG,
one of those strains
bro.
that just throw a ton of keef. You run that thing for keef, and you're gonna have a lot of it.
Fuck.
Super frosty, super crystally, great
Yeah.
strain.
I've never grown the Bishkro OG, bro, but I've literally seen it all over your grams. Like, I've literally seen it back in 2017, seen it in 2019. So I was like, okay, this is one that he keeps running. He likes
Yeah.
this one. And I noticed, like, Mr. Grow It, I think I saw that. It was the only other person I saw growing that on his Instagram, man. So can you tell me a little bit about that strain? How does it taste? Like, for people who've never tasted it like myself, what's it like to grow?
It's an ease to grow. You just
Ooh,
got to be careful because she gets really big really quick. But
yeah,
one thing I loved
fast.
about her, and that's the reason that she stayed around. She's a perfect blend of Tahoe OG and peanut butter breath. Like if you've ever smoked peanut butter breath and you know that peanut butter terp, and if you ever smoked Tahoe and you
I
know
need to
that
try
taste,
that, dude.
it's the I'll get
I've
it to you.
never
Don't
tried
worry.
the peanut butter breath ever. Like, I need
Oh,
to.
the peanut
I don't
butter.
even know what
What?
that. I don't know what that terp tastes like. So yeah, you got to get it to me, bro. Get it to me. Let me taste that shit.
Yeah, it's one of the. Can you give me 2 seconds?
Sure thing, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I want to taste that peanut butter, bro.
Good to go. Yeah, I just got the peanut butter breath, so no worries. I got you.
Yeah, man, I definitely want to taste that, bro. But like, you seem to take a lot of cuttings as well, dude. Like, you take a lot of cuttings. Your success rate seems to like fucking hit all the time, man. Like, what's your cloning process like?
Well, unlike everybody else that tells you to take the Rockwool cubes and throw them into a bucket and let them soak and then make
Okay.
sure you get the right level of water out of it. No, you don't do any of that.
Okay, okay. I was now
If
about to like take notes and be like, okay, he does this.
Yeah, that's how you get stem rot, and that's why people think that you can't clone and Rockwool afterwards because your stems keep rotting because there's not supposed to be that much moisture near the stalk.
Yeah.
So the tray that you're going to sit the slab in, I load that with water that has Clonex in it.
Okay.
And then I sit the slab on the water and
Okay.
let it soak up the water from the bottom. So the top stays dry where the clones are going to be at. The top stays dry. Pop the clones in afterwards, throw the dome on every day, open it a little bit more. After about day 3 or 4, I take the whole dome off, and then I just start misting them with a spray bottle of water.
Okay.
And after that, 2 to 3 days after that, everything's rooted.
Okay, wow, man, that's like a foolproof process. So like you gradually take the dome off, like just like
I
explain
just
to me
open
how
the
you do
vents.
that.
I open the vents little by little every day. Once the vents can stay fully open, that takes about 3 days. Then you could just take the whole dome off.
Okay.
But I'll still mist them down every single day because sometimes that adjustment from that much humidity to not enough, it can shock the plants, and some of them will. So I make sure that I just go in every day, spray them with a little water. After about 2 days of doing that, you don't even have to do that anymore. You'll check the bottom, and roots will be all over the place.
Okay, I got you, man. Makes a lot of sense, man. That's pretty fucking dope. Now, like a lot of people actually like were wondering about your current setup, man, because your setup looks so dope. You got like, I think I'm not even sure what sort of lights you got in there, but I just know that you got like some beasts pumping in there. The setup looks ill. It looks almost like a fucking, I don't even know how to explain, man. Just a dope ass setup. So tell us a little bit about your current setup, bro.
So current setup is the no-till beds. 4x8 beds. Lighting, I got the Medic Grow Smart 8s. And I have the Grandmaster level tarantulas.
Okay, dope. Shout out to Grandmaster, man. He actually hit me up, so and I forgot to get back to him, man. Like, you know how shit be sometimes. So I'm gonna have to hit him up.
Sometimes you get busy.
Yeah, dude, but I'm gonna have to hit him up, man. But yeah, dude, shout out. So how are those lights been for you, bro?
Yeah, the tarantulas crushed. Yeah, they did a great job. Smooth, easy to hang, real lightweight. You can hang them by yourself, no issue. Great light, no complaints from me.
Okay,
that light knocked it out the park on the last run.
Spanking. So how big is like your grow setup, man? Like your grow room or your grow space? You grow in tents or nah? Fuck that.
No, they're rooms because I gotta be able to move around. Tents just get on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
It is one room is a 4x5. It's like a 8x18.
Decent size.
It's about an 8x18.
Okay, decent size, man. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, and the other room is maybe 8x10.
Nice, man. Both great spaces, bro.
Yeah, no, it's bigger than that. No, it's like an 8x12.
Okay, still nice, man. Still fucking dope. That's even better.
yeah, it's like an 8x12. So
yeah, I got you, man.
Normally, I had all 4x4 trays, 1 gallon pots of cocoa, 12 per light, watering system, the hookup. Like, you don't have to be there. You could disappear for 4 days and the room will run itself.
That's smart, man. Come and think of that, man. Like I've seen you got like some drip stuff into your pots and stuff, man. Tell me a little bit about those. What is that?
Got rid of all
irrigation?
Of them.
Okay.
Yep, got rid of all of them. Because I went to no-till and it's just much easier to hand water.
Okay, I got you.
Because you're gonna have to be down there anyway. You want to inspect the beds. You want to make sure that things are going good, no dry pockets. So I got rid of the watering system eventually.
Less hassle. But like, I got a random question for you, dude. Because I gotta move away from my plants for like maybe let's say a week soon. What would you do like for like watering if you can't get someone to come and water your shit? Like, how is there some sort of drip irrigation system I can like quickly set up or something just to run for that week?
Yeah. If on my page I set up a whole watering system, you can set that same exact system up, and as long as you got a big enough res, you'll be just fine.
Okay, dope, man. Great.
It'll water
I'm so happy
every single day. Yeah, it'll water itself every single day, once a day or whatever. The plants will have water every single day. You'll be good.
Okay, I got you, man. That's fantastic, bro. Because I was starting to get worried. I was like, fuck, I got to figure something out.
Res size is the only issue. Just make sure that you got a big enough res that holds enough water to last for that week.
Okay, I got you. Facts, man. Now, one of the things I noticed on your most recent podcast, man, you guys are talking about sustainability, and I don't know if like Frosty grows any grapes or you guys are talking about grapes, right? But talking about like just the levels of sustainability that sometimes you have to go to, like just even reusing your own water. So like when it comes to reusing your own water, is that something that you had to do? And can you tell us a little bit about that part of the sustainability?
I never had to reuse my water. I
Yeah,
just make sure I don't lose any water.
I got
So
you.
I can have the biggest rainstorm ever in my
Yeah.
fruit forest. You won't find a puddle.
Okay. You collect rainwater or anything like that?
Yes.
Nice.
That's the extra water that'll get used to feed the vegetables and everything on days where weeks where we're not going to get any rain.
Yeah, I got you.
I
Nice,
torture
man.
tested them last week though, and they made it the entire week with no water.
He's a torture testing kind of guy. You gotta
Yeah.
call him Christian Grey.
The torture test.
Oh man, I love this, man. But the aim of most growers, man, of myself at least, is to grow some beautiful flowers, man. And one thing you always grow is like some beautiful flowers, dude. So like, does that come down to your feeding or your training? Like, can you tell us a little bit about your secret behind growing those beautiful flowers?
Not doing too much to them and letting them do what they're
Ooh,
supposed to do.
less is
Uh,
more.
yeah, I think people deal with foxtailing issues. I think they deal with more deformities and more issues by giving them too many boosters, too many PK boosters. I try to let the plant be as natural as it's going to be. And I tested the method of using it and not using it, and there was absolutely no difference other than the plant decides to look the way that it's supposed to look. So I
Okay.
just try to let the plant be the best that it can be and just baby it all the way through to the finish line.
Yeah, makes sense, man. And another thing I did notice is that like you don't get a lot of lard for popcorn button. Like I think you probably hate that shit just as much as I do. So like, how do you deal with it? Like, what do you do?
Well, when I do get it, I just keep it and put it to good use. So
Yeah,
again, teas, things like that. So there,
smart.
so I don't mind it. It's just
Yeah,
normally I lollipop for airflow, and so I
smart.
just wind up with not as many of them anyway.
Yeah, that's actually something I was gonna ask you, man. Like defoliation. A lot of people probably like trim underneath the net, the level of the net. Do you do that?
Yep,
Oh, okay, nice, man.
trim right up to the first net, pretty much.
Okay, and do you do like any other forms of defoliation during flower or anything like that? Some people go in with like the schwazing and like strip all of the leaves off and stuff.
No, I every day when I'm in there, I just pull leaves.
Okay,
You'll see dense areas where it's leaf on
yeah,
leaf on leaf, and every time you pull one, you look further into the canopy, and it's another leaf. So
yeah,
I'll clear those whole sections out, and
yeah,
then the next day I'll just do it again. And
yeah,
because they're not growing back in flower, it's not like you're pulling these leaves off and they're going to
yeah,
grow back in flower.
yeah.
Well, once you pull them off, they're not going to grow back. So
It's
you
true.
got time. Like there's
Yeah,
no point in having to go in there and do it all at once. You got time. You
I
got
like
eight
that.
weeks. You got eight
You
weeks to
got
do
time.
8 or 9 weeks to be able to go through and periodically pull leaves. And then at
Yeah,
the end, you'll have the same results as the guys who pulled it all at once, maybe better because their plants are going to stress and grow more leaves.
yeah, it's true.
Your plant's not going to stress and grow any more leaves out. It's
Yeah.
not going to miss those 3 you took off.
Fuck yeah, it's so true, dude. Like I like to do that as well. I literally go in there every day. If anything looks like it's blocking anything looks too extra, I just pinch it off, dude. Just
Yeah, that's
maybe
it.
take one or two off, and the plant doesn't even really notice the difference. You
No.
know?
And for me in organics, that works beautiful because now I have stuff that I can feed the worms on almost a daily basis. So as
True.
something's decaying, something's always in that next stage of decaying. They have never ending food. Like
Yeah.
their food just comes in stages. All they have to do is wait for it to dry.
Fuck, bro. Yeah, man. Like, tell us a little bit about the worms, bro. So, like, you actually got worms, like in your medium where you're growing, or you got like a worm composting bin sort of set up outside.
Nope, I got worms directly in the beds, and the worms
Ooh,
eat anything
fuck.
that drop to the ground. So my job
Wow.
is to make sure that things drop to the ground for the worms to eat, and they will turn it into worm
Genius.
castings. And you have never end every time you water, you're watering in worm castings every single time.
Genius.
If you could keep that cycle going.
This dude is like so genius, man. Like, how did you get those worms in there? Did you like cop them and like put them in, or
For the worms, yeah, I bought them.
yeah? Okay, nice, man. That's smart. I'm gonna have to give that a try, dude. Is there any negative I should be aware of when it comes to like getting the worms and putting them in there?
You got to remember to feed them. Most people
True.
put the
Okay.
worms in and they
I
never
forget.
feed them again. Like they
Yeah.
put them in, they lay the straw there, and then that's the end of it. Then they just start top feeding. When
Yeah.
you could just feed the worms, and if you could feed the worms, it's a never-ending cycle
Yeah.
of nutrients. You can
So
never have too
true.
much worm castings.
Yeah, it's so true, dude. Like, and what else would you feed the worms if you don't have like any leaves just to drop on there at that point? And what would you feed them?
Anything that you would throw in the worm bin.
True.
You
Fuck.
just go very light because
Yeah.
you don't want to heat the beds because
Yeah.
that is a composting process and it is a heated composting process.
I
So
got you.
when that's happening, you don't want to turn your entire bed into a big compost pile because
Yeah,
then it'll
big
be
hot
too hot for the
compost
roots.
pile. Yeah, smart dude. Wow, man. Like, talk about that. That's dropping some knowledge right here, guys. Smash the like button if you enjoy that. Like, this, oh my God, what a great fucking chat, bro. Dude, I think we've touched on a lot of different things, man. From germination, some of your secrets, seedlings, training, like some of your flowers, scrogging, yeah, a little bit of everything, man. But like, for all those watching who want to find out more about you, get in touch with you, maybe tune into some of your stuff, like, where can they find you? What you got going on?
Beast Coast Grower 420 on everything. You can find me on IG,
Everything.
Beast Coast Grower 420. You can
On
find me on YouTube,
everything.
Beast Coast Grower 420.
On
And I think we
everything.
on Twitch too. The Green Table Podcast on Twitch and the Green
Fuck
Table
yeah.
Podcast over on YouTube.
Hell yeah, dude. And shout out to the Green Table Podcast, man. You guys dropping a lot of knowledge over there. You guys doing some great stuff. Shout out to Frosty as well, man. I'm hoping to have him on soon as well. So
Got to get
yeah.
Frosty on.
Yeah, dude, most definitely, man. I hit him up actually the same time I hit you up, and he responded. He said send him an email, so I sent him an email, but I didn't hear from him again. So I reached out to him
He'll get
recently,
back
so
to
we
it.
make it happen. So we're gonna make it happen, and I have no worries that it's gonna fucking happen, dude. Hell yeah, bro! But thank you so much for coming on, man. Like, guys, smash the like, check out all Beast Coast Growers stuff, check out the Green Table Podcast. You definitely want a seat at that fucking table, guys. You don't want to miss that shit. But I'm gonna put links to all his stuff down below.
And last word. Don't be a ninja watcher. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Don't just be over here watching and liking. Don't be a ninja watcher.
Don't be
Make
one of those.
that you hit that subscribe button.
Hell yeah, dude. You gotta smash it, dude. You gotta smash the subscribe button. You gotta smash the like.
Destroy it.
Destroy the shit out of it, bro. Oh, fuck, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Beast Coast Grower, man. Appreciate you, man. Much love. We will definitely stay in touch, man. And I'm gonna see you soon, brother.
Yes, peace.
Have a good one, fam. Peace.